Hey everybody, it's MommaOG. I am back with another reaction. Today I'm circling back around to Heilung and tried to do a little bit of looking up on how to pronounce the name of this song. And it took me on a little bit of a journey, which I thought I'd go ahead and share in the video. The best phonetic pronunciation I got, well, I don't know if it was the best one, but it's the one I got. Fylgija air. But there's a whole other, I had to go to ChatGPT to get help with the pronunciation because Google Translate was not helping me at all. So that's where I got this phonetic Fylgija air. It also explains if I wanted a little closer to Old Norse Scandinavian, it could also sound more like Fylgija. I don't know what the U, like a rounded U vowel with the two dots mean. So full, is it full? Yeah. And then it offered below, I can explain what Fylgija means spiritually and mythologically because that word carries a lot of weight in Heilung's world. So I said, yes, tell me. It says, this is one of those Heilung words that hits deep. I'll keep this grounded and clear, not too woo-woo, but still respectful of the mythology they're drawing from. What it means. It's an Old Norse concept. The word literally means one who follows, but is not just a spirit or a metaphor. It's more like a personal attached aspect of self. Think of it as a guardian presence, a spiritual double, a shadow self or soul companion, a reflection of your true nature and fate. It's bound to you. It's not chosen. It does not leave. It follows you through life. This is a concept I could definitely believe based on my own spirituality. A Fylgija often appeared in dreams or visions before death or major change as an animal, most common, sometimes as a woman, especially for men. The form it took was believed to reflect the person's inner character or destiny. If someone saw another person's, still having a hard time pronouncing it, Fylgija, it was considered an omen, especially if it appeared wounded, aggressive, or fleeing. Why animals matter here. Animal Fylgija, Fylgija, were extremely important. A wolf, bear, raven, horse, or boar told others who you really were beneath society and words. It is not a spirit animal in the modern sense. It is inseparable from you, tied to your luck, courage, morality, and fate. If the Fylgija weakened, so did the person. Why Heilung uses it. Heilung is very intentional with language. It taps into ancestral identity, inherited memory, the part of you that exists outside modern time. The animal, instinctual self that still walks within you. It fits their core theme, remember that we are all brothers. Fylgija air is generally interpreted as Fylgija is the following spirit, the soul companion, and air is earth, ground, body, or listening presence. So together, it suggests something like the follower bound to the earth, or the soul companion that walks in the body. Why this hits people emotionally. It's already giving me a heaviness here. This concept lands hard for people who are deeply intuitive, animal connected, sensitive to energy or presence, prone to feeling like they carry more than one self. Heilung does not ask you to believe in this literally. They ask you to remember what it feels like. I'm going to come back to this after the song and explain why these specific 4 things, deeply intuitive, animal connective, sensitive to energy or presence, and prone to feeling like they carry more than oneself, is hitting me like a ton of bricks right now. But for now, let's go ahead and get into the song. It's been a little while since I've heard anything from them, and I think I need a little bit of this in my life. This is a live version. Just a couple of reminders. I take notes during most of my reactions. Sometimes it becomes impossible to do that based on wanting to pay attention visually. But if you see me looking down, I'm just jotting 1 or 2 words so that I don't have to pause the song and can remember what I want to talk about after. Also, at this point, it's impossible for me to keep up with all suggestions and comments. So if there's something you would like me to react to sooner rather than later, you can send the information to me via donation link in the description, and I will bump it up to the top of my list. I've got my earbuds in. Let's go ahead and take a listen. Definitely turning this up. Really wish I could just close my eyes. he's talking about what those bones just told him. It is so hard for me not to want to close my eyes and just listen. Different voice in there. Goosebumps. Oh my God. I'm sitting here trying to think or formulate words to describe everything that that song made me feel. It's very challenging sometimes. The most prolific thing is that I feel a completely different state after having heard that than I was before I heard that. I feel incredibly relaxed. It was almost like a meditation thing for me, but like true meditation has never made me feel this relaxed. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've said it a million times on their videos that they feel extremely primally connected to the core of who I am, even though I neither myself or my ancestors are from this part of the world. My closest connection is my stepfather, who is half Norwegian and half Swedish. But my father's family is from Britain, and my mother's family is from Ireland. And then I also have some Cherokee Native American. My fourth grandmother was full-blooded Cherokee. So the message in general with them is we're all brothers. Could explain why I feel this music so deeply. I find it odd, but yet not surprising how some people that I have listened to this find it scary and assume things about it based on the visuals and the tribalistic nature of it. It's kind of comical to me in a way, but not really. I don't know, maybe 20 years ago I might have thought along those lines myself, but having kind of discovered a lot of things about myself personally within the last 20 years, none of this from the beginning has struck me as anything scary. It's the complete opposite. It's beautiful and connected to nature and connected to your inner spirituality. Kind of like, a part of you that you've never met, but may have existed throughout centuries. A part of what you may have inherited from your ancestors going back many moons. I feel a lot of that within me, and it wasn't until I started listening to stuff like this that I became conscious of it. And for me, it's been a beautiful, amazing experience. Okay, I don't think I've done this on my other Heilung reactions, but I would like to look up the lyrics to that and the translation. Okay, so I found the translation for the live version, which is cool. So it's German, English, Old English. Okay, so I'm just going to go through these lyrics and then I'll go back to what I was talking about in the beginning. The grave is terrible to every earl. When the fixed flesh begins, the corpse cooling to choose the earth. Paleness as its bedmate. Fruits fail, joys depart, mankind ceases to be. So that's clearly about death. Okay, so maybe they sung this part in German and this next part in Old English, and it looks like a repeat, just in a different language. Maybe this is the part he was throat singing at the beginning. Okay, so wealth is a comfort to every man, although every man must share it out greatly, if he would obtain a portion of the Lord's glory. The ox is single-minded and overhorned, most savage beast, fighting with his horns, well-known moor-stepper. That is a proud creature. Thorns are severely sharp to any thane, seizing it is an evil, measurelessly cruel to every man who comes to rest upon it. The mouth is the beginning of all speech, a support to wisdom and a comfort to the wise, and a prosperity and trust to every earl. Riding is a comfort to every warrior in the hall, and very trying to those who sit upon a powerful courser over the mile paths. A torch is known by every living being to be on fire, white and bright, most often burning where the nobles rest themselves within. So maybe this part is speaking upon this shadow self. I'm hoping that ChatGPT didn't lie to me. Sometimes that happens. Hail is the whitest of grains. It comes down from heaven's breeze. The wind's showers rolls it down, and after it becomes water. Need is a constraint on the breast, although it often comes to the sons of men. A help and a healing of everyone if they hearken to his demands before. Ice is really cold, measurelessly slippery, glistening clear as glass, most like gemstones. A floor created by frost and a fair face. I'm not sure what these little symbols represent. I hope somebody will fill me in there. The new year is the hope of men when God allows the holy heaven's king the earth to give, her bright fruits to rich and poor alike. Yeah, that's plain as day there. The sun is ever a hope to seamen when they carry themselves over the fish's bath until their brine horses bring them to shore. Tur is a certain token. It keeps its troth well with noble men. It is always on its journey over the clouds of night, never wandering. Okay, so these might be talking about what these symbols represent. Birch lacks fruit, even though it bears shoots without seed. It is lovely in its branches, high in its crown, and fairly adorned, laden with leaves pressing into the breeze. Man is in mirth, dear to his brother, though everyone must depart to another place. Because the Lord wishes, through his own doom, that our wretched flesh be condemned to the earth. The waters seem to men to be broad, if they should venture upon an unstable ship, and the sea waves terrify them so, and the brine horse cares not for his bridle. The grave is terrible to every earl when the fixed flesh begins, the corpse cooling, to choose the earth, paleness, as its bedmate. Fruits fail, joys depart, mankind ceases to be. So, as far as what ChatGPT told me, the closest relation I can pick up from that based on reading those lyrics is about death. I don't know if this whole, I mean, it says it's in the actual title of the song, the following spirit to the ground, and that could represent, I don't know if this extra shattered self or soul companion actually plays into the song based on the lyrics. But I do get the spirit going into the ground, and that represents, the process of death and, submitting yourself to the earth as it should be, as it was intended. This is incredibly deep, and it's got my head spinning a little bit. So this part here about why this hits people emotionally, it lands hard for people who are deeply intuitive, animal connected, sensitive to energy or presence, prone to feeling like they carry more than one self. And it goes on to say, Heilung does not ask you to believe in this literally. They ask you to remember what it feels like. I can relate to all four of those things. Something I've discovered about myself based on certain things that would happen to me. Being able to sense people's energies, feeling emotions that aren't necessarily mine, feeling things when I walk into a building or a room. I guess they call that reading the room, just picking up on other energy that is not mine. For a very long time, this has always kind of happened to me. And for a very long time, I kind of thought I was crazy because I was going through all these emotions that, I didn't know at the time weren't exactly mine. They were coming from outside sources. And since learning about this whole part of myself, I've always kind of been pretty intuitive based on those things. I just didn't understand them. And now that I do, I understand that it's classically, traditionally coined as being empathic. I have always had a truly deep connection with animals my whole life. The same is true to this day. I relate to animals more than I do the human species. I envy animals just based on the way they live, how things are just about a very few important things, and all this other chaos and noise that we create as humans just does not exist in their world. And I absolutely envy that about animals. But as you may or may not know, I've got 7 parrots that I've had in my life for 22 years, and I cannot explain in either the words or the time that I have in this video, because it's already long enough, to express how deeply connected I am with them and my dogs and every other animal that I've had. Animals I see on the street. It's just this weird connection that I've always had. I've helped people with birds that they would coin as demons based on certain behaviors. I worked at a bird store for a year, and I was the only one that was able to handle most of them because I got really good at reading and feeling their energy, just what they were feeling. They can't communicate in their terms to where we understand them. So I tend to pay attention to energy and physical body language more than what comes out of mouths. And this lends to humans as well. Pay attention to energy and physical movements and body language more than what comes out of their mouth, because a lot of times those could be two different things. You're hearing a story verbally, but you're seeing something quite different and feeling something quite different. So that's incredible. I hope that you guys will fill me in on if any of this chat GPT stuff is accurate. You never know with this stuff. I appreciate your patience in sitting here listening to me ramble on. That was an amazing song. I did take a couple of notes. I saw the reading of the bones, and although I'm not very educated on that practice, I am aware that it happens. It's something that interests me. If I knew of somebody who did that here locally, I would probably go see them. That did have a very ritualistic feel, as most of their stuff does. I've often heard you guys tell me that their entire shows are just one large ritual. And that while you're there, you are immersed in it wholly and fully, which is something that I can only hope I can experience one day. I hope they come back to the States. I'll have to do everything in my power to go see them, because this is going to be going on an official life bucket list, something I have to do before I die. That is how much I connect to this. One more final note that I made, her movements while he was doing his throat singing down over the bones with the antlers. I don't know exactly what those movements mean, but I was watching her closely. She was making different poses, pointing them in different directions, and they were deliberate. And I just wonder if anybody can explain to me what exactly that represented in the context of the song. That was a doozy. Definitely adding it to my playlist and going to listen to it religiously. No pun intended. Thank you all so much for being here to share this with me. I will see you next time.
$50 says she wasn't cleared to leave the hospital. Hey, Case. You know Agent Major?
Yes. Oh, thank God you're okay. And I am so sorry for this.